The following accounts are documented experimental research performed by faculty personnel related. Audio and video documentation was successful during the time of the experiment. However, a system error occurred up to 85% of the data, limiting the footage to static images which have been extracted and polished. The addendums below are what was recovered from the data. Audio logs have been transcribed and approved by personnel for disclosure. Faculty personnel related has since passed away due to a self-inflicted injury and cannot contribute further in any meaningful way. These addendums contain some of the most insightful data we have on the cartridge's properties yet, and its preservation is of utmost priority. Dr. L and Dr. Z.
Gameplay Diary 1. The date is blank and the time is blank. For the purpose of confidentiality, I will not be using my real name. You can call me Seb. Lawrence has informed me I'm allowed to cut loose at this study, but because of my occupational background, I feel prying things apart will come naturally, though it's been stressed that my gut reactions and personal experiences are important here, so I'll do my best to be casual. I'm only qualified to be involved with this experiment because of a psychological evaluation, so if anything techie comes up, I won't be much help, and I think that was intentional. I've been stationed at Test Site, which is intended to simulate a low-stakes housing environment, so to speak. I can get up to drink or cool my head whenever I need to. Only caveat is that I'm being locked up out here with some low-level security, but I can call for general supplies with a landline whenever. Apparently the box knows when it's being bugged, so we're trying to fool it by making it think it's just an amateur with a cheap microphone. Results from previous tests have been inconclusive with the intervention of multiple people, so if nothing happens due to me so much as referencing the idea of someone else in my vicinity, then this whole expense paid trip can be enjoyed until the good doctors come back to get me. Without further preamble, I'm engaging the cartridge. Corruption setting in at record time. There's no music except for a steady buzz. Interesting. It's like one of those narc seals. Character unidentifiable. Citing them in my notes as Mayor P. Maybe they'll come back later. Visuals are completely different from prior tests. No sign of Godzilla or any other monsters from the original game. To tell you the truth, I never really liked Godzilla. I understood the cultural context, but I just generally steered away from media that romanticized the idea of a city coming down. This isn't just a Godzilla thing either. I'm a stickler about the media I intake. It's less a creative bias and more like it makes me feel uneasy. I never liked the idea of being asleep and all of a sudden being crushed by rubble, or being swallowed by a cloud of dust while rounding a corner. I think I saw maybe one movie with a giant monster suit, but it wasn't Godzilla. Some kind of dinosaur with stegosaurus plates and a horn on its nose. Shot lasers, I think. The green guy staring at me looks a little like Hedorah, which I remember seeing in this game. Did Godzilla ever fight a giant centipede? There's music, I think, but it sounds like it's being played down a hallway. It's deep. It sounds big crush enough to be possible on the system from what I remember. I also only know who Hedorah is because I had to play the unmodified version of Godzilla Monster of Monsters beforehand to get an idea of what to expect, and how to spot anomalies. Hopefully Fingerbones will be somewhat in line with the original gameplay loop. I don't see an option for a password screen, so let's see what happens if we continue. Lawrence stressed that I do this in case this anomaly has something extra up its sleeve. There's Godzilla. The art here looks more like the original game. I never actually beat Monster of Monsters myself, so I can't confirm if this was actually part of the game or not. No Mothra. Maybe she dies at some point? I see a planet too, but it looks a bit more like the sun, mostly because of all the tendrils coming off it. Gives me the impression of solar flares, but it's clearly not a sun because it has a shadow on it. The screen is just still. I haven't tried pressing any buttons yet. There we go. I feel like I've read something like this before. Damn it, it went away before I could finish. I'll have to comb through the footage later. We have a map. I guess that message was meant to be like an introduction for this planet. It reminds me of the Earth board a little, but it looks like it was hacked to pieces. There are levels I can't even access. There's Ghidorah too. That's the monster I died to the last time I played. I'm already up in his grill too, and I can't make my piece move away, so maybe if I try... Ah, shit. I was hoping I could look at one of those yellow tiles first. Godzilla's stats are weird. It's like there's a few different fonts mixed in there. No scoreboard or anything aside from the essentials. That's either music or pixelated wind howling. It loops every few seconds, so it almost has a melody. It's kind of grating on my ears. At first, I thought my speaker was dying, but the howling is actually just getting louder. Whoa. The mountains evaporated, or something. The screen is starting to rumble, and I can't move any more forward. This the boss? I don't think that's Ghidorah. I can't talk much because I'm focusing on fighting. I'm still getting back into the swing of using these controls. The music is jarring. It's as if Ghidorah's theme was being played over a pipe organ, but it's on the NES, so it's not the most graceful sounding thing. It has intervals where it speeds up and slows down. That thing just ate on my fire breath like it was nothing. It has a lot of annoying energy attacks, but they aren't knocking my monster back as badly as they would in the original game. I'm taking a lot of damage, though. Shit! That caught me by surprise. This is getting out of hand. No matter what I do, that thing isn't showing any signs of falling over. There's no health bar. Am I supposed to die here? Well, Godzilla's dead, and he's being pulled underground by more Ghidorah heads. Wait a second. What's that in the back? Something huge is rising and the screen is shaking again. Don't know how well this is going to be captured in post. From a gameplay standpoint, that was incredibly irritating. I didn't get to see the rest of that thing before it brought me back to this screen. Back at the title screen, now there's no continue option. I think I'm going to call it here and go over what I collected before I jump back into this. Maybe I can risk getting some insight from the doc in between. Anyway, I'll catch up with you all later. This is Seb signing off.
It's the red, it's the